What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we will be talking about how to optimize the quick catch method in Pokemon Go. For anybody out there who has used this method, you know that the quick catch method is absolutely fantastic and it would be very difficult to go back to catching Pokemon the old way. If you don't know what the quick catch method is and this is the first you are hearing about it, I would highly recommend you to check out this other video. I will also put a link in the description. This video is specifically focusing on optimizing the strategy. I'm assuming you already know it. I'm very excited about it. I've basically got two strategies to talk about. One is related to speed and a huge opportunity to increase it. And then the second one is kind of like a twofold strategy of how we can become more likely to catch the Pokemon on the first throw. But anyways, I hope you do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. For the first strategy, we are going to focus on low CP Pokemon. Now let's say, for example, that you're running across some Pokemon that are like 100 CP or less. Well, the odds are is that you will be able to catch it on the first throw. So we are going to actually use that to our advantage. You don't necessarily have to go through your windup. You don't have to hit a great. You don't have to hit an excellent. You don't have to wait to be able to do that. In this case, you could honestly just throw the ball and you will most likely be able to catch it on the first throw. And with this, you will save a huge amount of time without having to worry necessarily whether or not you caught it. And with this, you can get to the point where you could honestly throw it and already be hitting the run button before it even hits the Pokemon. That is absolutely fantastic. That is optimal. If you can do that, it is definitely a safe bet with lower CP Pokemon, and something that I have personally trained myself to start doing, not necessarily just to automatically, do my wind up and throw it. I'm trying to think a little bit more about this specifically so I can save a huge amount of time. The second strategy is about making it more likely to catch the Pokemon on the first throw. We've all been there before where you try to do the quick catch on a particular Pokemon and it just doesn't want to go on the ball. All of a sudden you end up doing it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and who knows, if you're going up against a Sableye, you could get way up there if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is something that is a bit of a problem with this, so we're going to focus on this and how we can save some time. And it's really a twofold method. The first one, I want to give it as just like a general method. And that is, if you end up seeing some higher CP options or you end up briefly seeing that the rings are different colors, I would highly recommend you to go up in your ball size. Go up to a great, go up to an ultra. If you know that the Pokemon is going to be a problem and you use your kind of like past experience to determine that, what you should do is, instead of instinctively going with the Pokeball first, you should definitely consider scaling up, because you will be more likely to catch it on the first throw the higher up you go in the ball count. Now the second one is kind of using this strategy in more of a bulk process, specifically related to community days. Now for community day Pokemon, the rate to catch them is increased, which is good for us. It makes it easier to catch these specific Pokemon. However, it is unfortunately not always to the level where a Pokeball will always do it justice. So what I would personally recommend you to do, I know it's a little bit controversial, is to go ahead and delete your Pokeballs. That way your default ball is your Great Balls. Then in this case, you simply don't spin any Pokestops while you are out doing community day. And then of course your Gotcha or Go Plus or whatever, you don't want that on because it would end up putting Pokeballs into your inventory. But what this does is it puts your default ball up to a Great Ball. And then if you want to get real extreme, you could go to an Ultra. But this will immediately increase your chances of being able to catch the Pokemon on the first throw. Definitely feel free to take your time in the first throw on these like harder to catch ones, because in the long run, it will definitely save you time. You don't want to end up going up against a Pokemon 2, 3, 4, 5 times when all you have to do is maybe throw in a Golden Raz once, switch up it to an Ultra. You can definitely save some time. For those of you out there who have been using this method over time and have used it abundantly, you're probably already doing these strategies, so definitely let us know in the comment section if you've been doing this, how it has been working for you. And if you have any more suggestions on how to optimize this, definitely let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you next time. I wanted to extend a huge thank you to the supporters over at Patreon. You definitely make this possible, and I 100% appreciate this support. If you are interested in supporting my channel on Patreon, definitely feel free to check out the link in the description.